Welcome to the Glowing Voice on Fire podcast. I'm Frankie Lopez, your host for this God-inspired message. A small monkey in a bright costume skips and twirls, hat tilted just so. The little bell on its tip rings as it bobs for coins. The organ's tune floats through the air. You feel the pull, the color, the sound, the clink of money in the cup. You know that pull. Noise and flash tug at your eyes and ears, and you follow without thinking. Bright things shout for a moment, then fade, and you move on. Jesus did not shout. He spoke plain words, and many walked past. Isaiah 53:2 says, "He had no beauty or majesty to attract us to him, nothing in his appearance that we should desire him. He did not sparkle, so people missed him." God still speaks this way, simple and clear, quiet and near. If you only scan the surface, you miss the weight underneath. Look deeper, listen beneath the buzz, and you will start to hear the whisper. You are drawn to what glows. Your eyes catch sparkle, your ears catch volume, and your heart drifts toward what looks alive. It feels safe to follow what is loud and bright. It asks nothing from you but a glance and a nod. Yet the loud parts of life often hide the quiet gifts that help you hear God. Surface glitter is easy. It talks in big colors and quick hits. It rewards you with a burst, then leaves you reaching for the next burst. The deeper work asks for stillness. It invites you to listen and wait. Elijah learned this on the mountain. The wind, the quake, the fire passed by, yet God spoke in a low whisper. 1 Kings 19:12 names it a gentle whisper. You hear it only when you soften your pace. In the crowds, many wanted a sign that shook the sky. Jesus refused to perform for applause. He kept calling people to listen. Matthew says he spoke of a merchant who searched for a pearl of great price, then sold all to buy it. Matthew 13:45-46 shows that you find treasure when you seek it, not when you skim the surface. That is how deeper meaning works. You look past the glitter, and you keep looking. Picture the street when you step out. Horns call for your lane. Sirens cut the air. Storefronts blaze with moving lights. The walkway is a river of bodies, each with a plan, each in a hurry. You check the clock, check your list, check the next turn. You move fast because you must. You pass by a man speaking softly to a child. You do not hear what he says. You only see the taxi lights and the red sign that flashes sail. Your day fills with noise that pretends to help. Ads boom from speakers by the door. Screens in waiting rooms shout a loop of weather, the latest headline, the next thing to buy. Bright posters hang above you on the train. They promise more if you move faster. Your head nods to the rhythm of it while your heart grows dull. You barely notice the quiet tug at the edge of your thoughts. You want a signal that is impossible to miss. People in the Bible wanted that too. Some pressed Jesus for a show. Luke 11:29 records his words. This generation is an evil generation. It seeks for a sign. He was among them, steady and near, yet many looked past him because he did not shine like the carnival. Isaiah warned that he would not come with beauty or majesty that pulls the eye. He spoke truth in simple words. He healed with a touch. The greatest power walked by, and people kept asking for fireworks. You know this pull in your own feet. You leave the house, and the day grabs you by the collar. You float from task to task. Pay, reply, fetch, fix, schedule, repeat. The rush feels like life, but it trims your sight down to the obvious. The loud wins. The soft loses. The whisper of God does not match the volume of the street, so you file it under later. But later never comes. The truth hides in quiet rooms and small acts. The lost coin is found by a woman who lights a lamp and sweeps the house until she finds it. Luke 15:8-9 shows a search that is patient and focused. No noise, no crowd, just steady attention and a heart set on what matters. That is the posture that helps you hear. You stop looking for the flash, and you start sweeping the floor of your own soul. You see this pattern in the wise men too. The night sky spoke soft, a single star with quiet pull. Many saw the same sky and stayed home. The wise set out and kept going until they arrived. Matthew 2:1-2 hints at the pace. It was long, it was costly, it was worth it. Deep meaning often asks you to travel without a marching band. The fast sparkle offers reward with no roots. It feels sweet and then it is gone. The whisper offers something else. It asks you to pause, to let the noise pass, to let your breathing slow. It meets you in a hallway between meetings, or at a red light, or while you wash a dish. It is small, then strong. It carries weight. It leads you to a better path, not a louder one. You do not need a new city or a new job to hear. You need a new habit of attention. You can choose to look past the neon. You can choose to listen in the gaps. Start now. Close your eyes for 5 seconds. Breathe. Ask, where did I feel a nudge today? Who did I ignore because the street was bright? What quiet thing did I brush aside? You honor God when you give weight to what is small. You honor your own soul when you stop feeding it noise. The world will keep rolling carts of sparkle in front of you. You can nod and pass. You can hold out for what has depth. The whisper is near. The whisper is kind. The whisper is clear. And if you keep seeking, like the merchant and the woman, you will find what your heart is hungry to hear. Some people in Scripture refuse to live by the loudest thing in front of them. They learned to notice simple signs, then moved their feet. They pressed past the crowd and routine. They made space for wonder, and they found what others missed. You can do the same. You can learn to spot the quiet hint, then follow with a steady heart. That is how you hear the whisper beneath the noise. That is how you find treasure. Night had its own hush. Cool air brushed the skin, thin and clean. The horizon held a faint pale line. Above it, a single star burned with a steady glow. Not a flare, not a flash. Just a point that did not blink. The Magi watched that light press against the dark, and they paid attention. Matthew says they asked, "Where is he that is born King of the Jews?" That question pulled them from their beds and across the miles. They packed by lantern light. Bags thumped against saddles. Leather straps creaked. Camels groaned, then swayed into rhythm. The road gave them dust that clung to their robes and lips. The night offered silence broken by hoofsteps, crickets, and the low talk of friends who shared the same hope. That kind of journey has its own sound, a mix of breath and faith. Every time the star slipped behind a cloud, they waited. Every time it cleared, they moved. They ignored the hum of daily duties. Markets called, letters waited, small tasks piled up. They chose the long road instead. They chose to seek. When they reached Judea, the city noise rushed them, and Herod's hall glimmered with comfort and power. It would have been easy to stop there, but they kept their eyes on the quiet sign that had started them, not on the bright halls that tried to hold them. Scripture says the star stood over the place where the child was. When they saw the star, they rejoiced with exceeding great joy. They stepped into a simple barn, not a throne room. They bowed low, gold, frankincense, myrrh, a baby, a young mother, a quiet father. No crowd, no show, only presence. The joy they carried did not shout. It settled deep, like warm light inside the chest. This is your story too. You see a small sign in a week that looks like every other week. A verse repeats in your mind. A name comes to you while you wash a plate. A detail in a sermon glows a little brighter than the rest. It is not loud, but it will not leave. That might be your star. If you treat that sign like a call, your life will shift. You might close the laptop early. You might take a walk and pray a simple prayer. You might ask a hard but honest question. You might plan a visit you have put off. Often the star points you to a small room where the gift waits. The Magi teach you to give weight to the quiet pull. They did not chase the nearest echo. They set their pace by a light you could ignore if you did not look up. You can do that today. Pay attention to the glow against your dark. Small signs often signal big turns. Joy is on the other side of that patient search. Jericho buzzed like a market bell at noon. Sand kicked up from sandals. Voices rose and fell. People pressed shoulder to shoulder. Zacchaeus was short, and the crowd did not leave gaps. He could have gone home and called it a day. He did not. He ran ahead, breath loud in his ears, and grabbed the bark of a sycamore tree. Fingers stung, shirt snagged, legs hauled him up to a branch. He wanted a clear line of sight, so he made one. Jesus stopped and looked up and said, "Zacchaeus, make haste and come down, for today I must abide at thy house." And he made haste and came down and received him joyfully. The effort caught Jesus' eye, not the title, not the wallet, the choice to climb. In minutes, the man who had been shut out by the bodies in front of him stood face to face with grace. He had pushed past the usual. He had traded dignity for vision. The climb changed more than his view. It changed his heart. He stood in his own home with the dust of the street on his feet and made a new kind of math, half his goods to the poor, fourfold back to any he had cheated. That is what happens when you pursue a true view. You do not just see Jesus better, you change your life. The noise loses its grip. The old pull fades. You need your own tree. Your crowd might be meetings, alerts, or chores that never end. Your line of sight gets blocked by things that seem urgent but are not. You can run ahead. You can climb above what keeps you stuck at eye level. That climb looks like waking 10 minutes early and reading slowly. It looks like a pause at lunch with a psalm. It looks like stepping outside and saying, "Speak, Lord, I am listening." It looks like silence when your mind wants one more rush of input. Zacchaeus shows you a simple rule. If you want a better view, change your position. He did not argue with the crowd. He did not demand space. He found height. You can do that with a quiet room, a closed door, a simple prayer, a notebook, a plain chair by a window. When you do, you signal hunger. Hungry people eat. Thirsty people drink. God honors that kind of hunger. You will not always hear thunder. You might only hear a name to call, a habit to drop, a small gift to share. Do not despise that. The climb is proof you care. The whisper comes to those who care enough to rise above the noise. And when it comes, you will find joy you cannot fake, the kind that settles you, then sends you. You can teach your heart to notice what your eyes miss. The volume of life will not lower itself for you. You learn to lower your soul instead. You turn from the flashing stage to the still room. That is where the soft voice gathers strength. That is where God's whisper comes into focus. You do not need more noise to hear. You need less. You do not need a new sign. You need a steady pulse of attention. Think of your heart as a room you can clear. One breath at a time, you move clutter to the side. You choose a slower sentence over a loud flood of words. Quiet grows, then hearing follows. Picture yourself on a small boat in a hard storm. Wind snaps the sail. Waves slap the hull. Spray salts your lips. You grip the rope and squint into gray light. Then you see it, a break in the rocks, a narrow gap, a sheltered cove. You turn the bow, feel the swell drop under you, and slide into calm water. The air changes, the noise sinks, the fear lets go. That is what it feels like when you settle your mind. You pivot from the storm to the cove. Your breath slows, your shoulders ease. Thoughts still rush past like waves rolling outside the break, but they cannot reach you here. In that shelter, a whisper can carry. You begin to catch what God has been saying all day. Scripture ties this quiet to a hunger that asks and seeks. Yes, if you call out for insight and raise your voice for understanding, if you seek it like silver and search for it as for hidden treasures, then you will understand the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of God. Proverbs 2:3-5. You are not trying to force a voice. You are choosing focus. You are setting your heart to search like silver, patient and steady, eyes on the ground where treasure hides. Try a pause right where you are. Close your eyes for a brief count. Let your jaw unclench. Notice your feet in your shoes. Picture that cove again, smooth water tucked behind the rocks. Say a simple line. Speak, Lord. I am listening. Let silence sit with you, like a friend who does not need to fill the air. Watch how clutter loosens. Notice how peace starts to swell from inside, not outside. You will not always hear words. Sometimes you will feel a nudge. Sometimes a name will rise or a line of scripture will glow. Sometimes you will sense a clean no or a clear yes. Keep still long enough for the whisper to arrive. Your heart will learn the tone over time. Like a sailor who reads tide and wind, you will learn the cues of God's quiet. You will begin to spot hidden gems tucked in ordinary minutes. The storm will keep raging out there. The cove is enough for now. You feel the pull of the street show. Bright colors spin, a bell rings, coins clink. Your eyes stay wide, but your soul stays hungry. The crowd smiles, then moves on. The noise fades and the ache returns. You know that cycle. It keeps you skimming the surface and missing the weight beneath. Lasting peace is not a louder sound. It is a deeper stillness. It does not beg for your eyes. It waits for your attention. Jesus came like that, simple, near, steady. He had no beauty or majesty to draw a crowd. Many missed him because he did not sparkle. The same thing happens to you. You want the flash, so you miss the whisper. Peace does not shout. Peace settles. When you step past the glitter, you start to hear a different song. Your chest loosens. Your thoughts stop tripping over each other. You feel held from the inside. That is not a trick of mood, that is the fruit of focus. You turn from the show and you look into the quiet. God has been speaking there the whole time. Your mind wears the city like a coat that never comes off. Light, music, chatter, duty, repeat. You get used to the buzz, then call it normal. But quiet has its own air. It tastes like rain after dust. It feels like a room with open windows. You can breathe in it. You can think in it. You can hear in it. Elijah learned this on the mountain. The wind tore rocks. The earth shook. Fire raged. God was not in any of it. Then came a low whisper, and Elijah covered his face. 1 Kings 19:12 tells it straight. The voice you need is often softer than the noise you want. Your part is to make room. You do not earn peace. You receive it. But you can set the table. You can pause mid-errand. You can sit in a parked car before you head inside. You can stand at the sink and let the water run and ask for a clean heart. When you do, peace rises like warm light from a lamp. It does not come from the street. It comes from God, and it holds. Mary Magdalene would not stop looking. Dawn broke over a stone and a grave, and she stood there in tears. She bent to look again. She stayed when others left. John writes, Mary stood weeping outside the tomb. She turned around and saw Jesus standing. She thought he was the gardener until he said her name. Mary. One word pulled the world back into place. That is what true search looks like. She lingered. She looked twice. She told her fear the truth could still be near. The reward was not a sign in the sky. It was a voice that knew her and called her by name. You need that same holy stubbornness. Luke talks about a shepherd who left 99 to find one sheep. He searched until he found it, then lifted it on his shoulders with joy. He did not shrug and quit. He kept walking until the lost was safe. Hungry people eat, thirsty people drink. It is not that God is silent. It is that you forget how to pay attention. Ears to hear will hear, eyes to see will see, an open heart will receive. You open that door when you wait a little longer than feels easy. You look again, you stay. The city swelled and sighed, but the men from the east watched the sky. One star held steady above the noise. They set their steps to that small light. Matthew says they followed it, then rejoiced with exceedingly great joy when it stood over the child. The house was plain. The moment was holy. Peace filled that small room like oil soaking into cloth. You know what that star feels like. A verse glows in your mind. A name rises while you sweep a floor. A quiet thought lands and it will not leave. That is your hint to move. Not to scroll or shop, but to sit, to pray, to call, to go. Lasting peace meets you when you let that small light guide your pace. Turn down the volume that keeps you numb. Look deeper than the show. Settle your body, then listen with your heart. God's whisper is near. It will not compete with the circus. It will anchor you. It will lead you. And what you have longed to find will stop hiding. In conclusion, you started with the street show, bright colors and ringing bells, then watched the crowds drift to the next loud thing. You learned from seekers who chose another path, like the Magi who set their pace by a small star and found a humble room filled with joy. The thread holds steady from start to finish. God speaks in plain words, close to your life, and you hear him when you look past the clamor. You can do that today. Turn off the noise, even for a short stretch. Sit still, breathe, and ask with a clear heart. Scripture gives you permission and a promise. Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and it will be opened to you. For everyone who asks receives, and the one who seeks finds. And to the one who knocks it will be opened. Matthew 7:7-8. Set your attention like the wise men set their steps, not by applause, but by a quiet light. Let simple words carry weight. Let small nudges steer your feet. The Messiah's peace rises when you choose depth over glitter, focus over frenzy, a whisper over a show. Unless you look deeper, you will miss it. Look deeper and you will hear the voice that has been near all along. Look deeper and you will find the Messiah waiting, not far off, but here. In the stillness, your soul rests, and the room fills with light. Thank you for listening to the Glowing Voice on Fire podcast. If this episode touched your spirit, share it with someone. Be sure to follow the podcast so you'll know when the next story is available.